Hi everyone, this is Doreen at Privies and Prims. Today is my Christmas unboxing day. I got this stuff out of the closet and I'm going to pull it all out and I'm going to show you it as I take it out. So some of this you may have seen and some is new. So let's get to it. There is an odd dresser back here behind me and I will explain that when I do my floss tube later this week. So let's get to the Christmas stuff. So number one, this is something that I've just done recently. It's a recent finish, so you will recognize that. It is from the Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher Christmas 2023 issue, and it is by the Shakespeare's Peddlers. Kitten Stitcher, I think is her name. This is a wool applique that I did several years ago, and this is a pattern by Old Tedder Flag. I don't even know if it's still available. And the red is wool, and it looks like it's a mixture of wool and wool felt. So it is felted wool felt, which means that I wet it and made it bumpy. And this needs to be pressed because it's pretty wrinkly on the back. That is wool felt, and it's a green. It's a mossy green. I don't know what it's showing up on your end, but I think this is called Charlie's Tree. And again, it was from Old Tedder Flag. And I just sewed a sleeve on the back, hand stitched it, and then put this hanger on it. So you can check their website. I'm not sure if it's still available. These are just things that I didn't have in the bag, so they're just on top. This is a sign. I used to stencil signs a lot. I used to make my own. And this is actually like, I think, a fence post that I bought at Lowe's or Home Depot, and then I painted it and distressed it. And I used to cut my own stencils on my Silhouette Cameo, and that is the sign that I put out every year. I really like that. It's just plain wood on the back, and I put hangers on it. I've had that for a long time. Oh, this guy back here, I think I bought him at a craft show. So he's just on a block of wood here, and it looks like he's got like a wooden stake going up into the back to keep him straight up. Well, it goes all the way up to here. So that would keep him vertical. And I love this guy. Very simple. But like I said, I think I got it at a craft show. I'm not sure. This is a little cross stitch pillow that I finished recently. This is in my Etsy shop right now for sale. And it's just a little bowl filler, pin keep. And that is the Primitive Hair. It's a freebie pattern that was by the Primitive Hair. So let's get into this. I don't think I'm going to put a tree up this year, but I'm going to show you all the things that I have. This, I think I bought at a yard sale. I've had him for several years. It does look like he's handmade because he's got that opening on the back where he was stuffed. But I think somebody else told me that they had one similar to this, so I'm not sure if he's handmade or not. But I like him. He's pretty thick. You have to lean him up against something because he won't stand up on his own. And this is, this is rug hooking with wool. Now this might be, I always hang this on a doorknob. This might be the first rug hooking I did. I am not sure. I really don't remember, but it's just 2014 is when I made that. It's got my initials on it. And like I said, I just hang it on a doorknob. Real simple. I think it was a free pattern from the Rug Hooking magazine. And then it's done on monk's cloth, and then I just attached it to this wool. I made a pillow, a hanging pillow. This is a Stacy Nash Primitives, and this is uncounted cross stitch. So what you do is you just draw the outline on your fabric, and this is just linen like from clothing, and then you just fill it in with what we call wonky X's. So let me get that close up so you can see that. You just fill it in. And I did learn that to get the wonky X's, you want to do one X at a time, because if you do a line across of half and then go back, they're too perfect. And the purpose of this is to not be perfect. And then that's how I closed him off in the back. This was before I started doing counter cross stitch, because I've only done counter cross stitch for a year this month. And so this was before then, and I loved this pattern. I got it actually at Sassy Jack's in Weaverville, North Carolina. And I just, every time I would go there for open stitch, I saw that pattern and I was like, but I didn't do cross stitch. So I decided to try to do it this way. And I love it. Let me see what else I have. This is what someone gave me at my rug hooking fiber group last year. It's just a scrap of red wool. And then it has a little tree stuck inside. So that's a fun way to give away some wool. If you want to do that, gift it. That was just something that she gave to each of us. This is actually not handmade. I bought this in a gift shop in Burnsville, North Carolina called Something Special. And I bought him many years ago, but I love it. I usually hang it on a kitchen cabinet knob. He's got his hot cocoa. He's really cute. The ornaments that I put on my tree, I only put handmade ornaments on my tree. So he does not go on the tree. Because he's, well, he may be handmade in China, but he's not handmade here. This is something that I did a few years ago. This is rug hooking. And I saw a picture of this online and decided that I could do that. And so I did. And then I stuffed it with, these are plastic candy canes that I wrapped with homespun and then coffee stained. And here's the back. It's part of an army blanket. And then it has the hanger on it. So no pattern for this. It's just a picture that I saw online. And decided to try to make it. And this one was one, I think I just did this last year. And this is actually rug punch with yarn. I'm not crazy about it, but it's just got a piece of wool on the back and the pip berries and stars and then a hanger. Simple little thing. You just draw out the star in the shape of a mitten and start punching. So this is done with an Oxford punch with yarn, which is the same technique as needle punch embroidery with floss, only you're using yarn and a different needle. Just some wooden beads. Like I said, I'm just unpacking stuff here. And each year it's like Christmas all over because you forget what you had. This is a little ornament I made. And I'm sorry, I do not remember whose pattern this is. Gosh, I just did this last year, but I do not remember whose pattern that is. I'm sorry, but that is punch needle embroidery. And then I just sewed a piece of wool to the back. Now this one is, oh, my heat just came on. Let me turn that off. It's noisy. Okay, this one is Brenda Gervais with the needle and thread, and this is punch needle embroidery with a piece of wool on the back and just the pip berries and stars in it. And I really like this one. I lent this to my mom last year because she fell in love with it, and I didn't want to part with it permanently, but I let her use it last Christmas. She had it hanging on her fireplace mantle. So that is one of my favorites. Brenda Gervais with the needle and thread. I'm not sure if it's available still because she was not selling punch needle patterns for a long time. And then she just is bringing some back. So you can check at countrystitchesonline.com and it may be on there. This one I did just this last year because, like I said, I've only been doing cross stitch for a year. I'm hoping I have this in frame. It's hard for me to see because I'm behind it. But this is Teresa Kogut. It's just on a piece of that plastic board. This was the first larger pattern that I did. And I've only done one other one that's larger than this. So I'm really happy how that turned out. I just put it on that plastic core board, and then I put a piece of fabric behind it, and then glued the board to that fabric on the back, and then I put these what's it called, chenille trim, and it's forest or olive green. And a lot of times on camera that trim looks brown, but it's actually olive green, and it is from Purple Paper Mountain on Etsy. So definitely check her out. And I think you can see I'm trying to peek, so you can see that it's really heavy. This frame is heavy. It's from a thrift store. And let's see what else I have. Okay, this is Punch Needle. This is a design by Old Tattered Flag. I don't know if it's still available. This is a thrift store frame. And I just turned the edges back, and then I glued it onto a piece of fabric that is in the frame. So, Old Tattered Flag. And I coffee stained it. This is from, I used to do a lot of, try to get the glare off this. I used to do a lot of primitive stitchery like this, and like I had tables full at craft shows. I think this is Chestnut Junction pattern. ChestnutJunction.com. Check her out. Her patterns are like $1.99. She has, you keep seeing me peeking around because I'm trying to make sure that you see it. She has primitive dolls and stitchery patterns. This guy, I do not have a clue whose pattern this is. I made him a very long time ago. And he sits on this candlestick, and he always leans to the back. See? So I have to set him, when I display him, I have to put him up against something so he stays forward. I could probably take it out and fix it, but it's easier to, rather than doing surgery, we'll call that brain surgery, I just lean him up against something and he stays the way he's supposed to be. So he has, looks like a felt hat that I probably purchased and then I decorated it. And his eyes are wool pennies. And he is just made of a heavy cotton and then coffee stained. Many years ago. So I don't know whose pattern he is. Okay, this one I got at a thrift store. Just a wooden little snowman. Thrift store, yard sale, I don't know. This is something that I made. Hold on, we're caught on the jingle bells. This is the jingle bells that you keep hearing. It's like a garland, kind of rusty. And that is probably from AT Imports or AI Imports. I think it's AT Imports in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It's a wholesale warehouse where I will be going next week. This one I made from wool. I don't know if I used a pattern or if I just made it up. It is the army blanket wool, and then I put some berries and things in it. And that is machine stitched around here, and then this part is hand stitched wool applique. Let's do this. Okay, this is one of my favorites too. This is a punch needle design by Teresa Kogut. Really cute. I made the horn book myself. I used to make a whole bunch. And I just put a little rusty snowflake on there. And he is glued to it. I love this one. Super cute. Oh gosh, before I did cross stitch, I would just do so much punch needle. This is just a plain tree. I bought this at a craft show last year. It's not those tobacco sticks, and then they just cut them in different lengths. And it has a cross tied down here at the bottom. And something used to be glued on here, so it's probably somewhere in this big bag. I think it was a star. Let's see. This I think I got this at a yard sale too. Kind of Needs a little TLC, but it's super cute. And I just set him up on top of a cabinet and fix it. I will fix it. Fluff it out, straighten up the star, kind of a curly brown tree. I have a lot of stuff in here, guys, to show you, so hopefully you're comfy. This I got as a little gift from a group I was in. It's just 3 boxes stacked. This is not homemade. This was from a wholesale place. This was gifted to me, and I wish I remembered who it was, or I should have put a note. This is an old tin, and I could have put a note inside it, but this was gifted to me probably at least 4 years ago. If it was you, please write in the comment that this was you. I really like it. It's just an old Lipton tea, it says. And she had punch needled that Santa and put it on there. I don't know whose pattern that is. I've seen it since then, but I could not tell you. I don't remember. So this I bought at a craft show, and this is my friend Karen O'Neill. She made this. I love this. Isn't he adorable? So cute. And there's the back. Super cute. That's a paper mache box. This guy, I think he was from a yard sale. Just a simple wooden snowman. Now I have a bag of stuff here. Last Christmas, this is the same pattern as the other little pillow I told you was for sale in Etsy, on Etsy. This I made last year. Like I said, I just started doing cross stitch last November. And on the back, it has some Prim Christmas fabric, and then I put that red braid around it with a little rusty jingle bell. So that is the primitive hair, and that is on, I think that's the 14 count Ada oatmeal, which is the scrap that I had when I very first started last year. And when I get to it, I'll show you the first thing that I cross stitched last year. And it was on 14 count Ada. This one I did punch needle. Love the vintage look of that. This was in, that's a flannel on the back. This was in the Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine last year. I think it was probably the Christmas issue. This is one of the ones I did last year. This is, it was a freebie. Oh gosh, it's right on the tip of my mind. I have it marked 2022 on the back. It's got flannel. I can't think of the name, I'm sorry. If it comes to me, I'll put it down below. This is Pineberry Lane. This might have been a freebie, and I did it on wool. That's a wool pillow that I made. And I think this one is rag stuffed. I love how prim that is. And then this, the star came off. So this is with the needle and thread on an old piece that I found at an antique store. And this came off, but I'll have to glue it back on with some E6000. And that goes, see if I can hold it so you can see it there. So cute. I took a piece of wool and just wrapped it in a tubing, like for the trunk there. I should have something white behind it to show it, but I don't have anything right here. You know, when you pull all this out and then you think, gosh, and I'm going to make a bunch more this year, where am I going to put it? I don't know where I'm going to put it. This is a Bird in the Hand Primitives pattern that I did years ago. This hornbook I did not make. I actually got it at a wholesale place before I started making my own. It's just black on the back, and I put some rusty wire with some jingle bells on it. Super cute. So that is Robin, Bird in the Hand Primitives. She is on Etsy. This, years ago, years, could be 10 years ago, I bought these. Don't know who I bought them from. Might be you. It's just candles covered with cinnamon, I think. And then a piece of homespun wrapped around and the snowman tag. If that was you, write it in the comments. Whoever made those. Let's see. This is a tree skirt, a small tree skirt. And I believe I got this at a yard sale. And 100% cotton. Perfect, because I always do like a 4-foot tree. But like I said, I'm not doing a tree this year. I don't think. Because I'm going to be gone from the 1st to the 11th. And then when I get home, I have something like almost every day that week. So I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to put some decorations out, but not a tree. This guy I bought, I think, at a yard sale. He is pretty cool. He's pretty big. Hold him back here. You can see how big he is. I don't think he's handmade. I think he is commercially produced, but I'm not sure. If any of you made these things that I'm buying from yard sales or thrift stores, let me know. Say, hey, that's mine. I made that. All right, this is another Teresa Kogut punch needle. Blessings to you. And this this tin wall pocket that it's on, I bought at it's called Amish Trader, and it is a wholesale place in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which I will be there next week. So I'll be checking these places out for some display pieces. You could do this sheep without the Santa hat, and it could be every day. It's a super cute pattern. Teresa Kogut. This is a Rebecca Smith pattern. Just an ornament. Rebecca L. Smith. She's passed away, unfortunately. And this is just all wool. Trying to get you to see it's like a plaid. And or stripes, it's stripes. But this is all wool applique, all hand stitched. Now, this lady I made many years ago, and a friend of mine bought it from me. Like, she has her crow's feet. And a friend of mine bought it from me at a craft show that I did. I thought she had it on a wreath, but I'm not sure. I showed this when I did the doll pattern video. If you go back and watch that, you'll see which pattern it is, because I don't remember. But then she decided last year that she was redoing things and didn't want it anymore, and she actually gave it back to me. Isn't she cool? I think she needs to be on a wreath or something, you know. I think in the pattern it has her holding a baby in the stocking. Look at her feet. This is what I used to do. I used to make all these Prim dolls, but look at the wings. That's sculpted with needle and thread. And her face too. And then there's the back. Her cute little dress with a ruffle on it. She's so cool. So I could just put like a hanger on the back, a loop thread, and hang her up, which I might do, but I think she'd look pretty cool on a wreath. And I don't know when I made that, but it was a long time ago. This I made last year. That's wool applique. That is all through the night, the pattern for that. And I did not cover that slit in the back, but that is just some cotton that I coffee stained. And this is also all through the night that I stitched last year. Just some pillows to sit on the couch. And that one has a flannel backing. I actually won those patterns on something, some kind of giveaway. I won them. And I stitched them up. This guy has been with me. Doesn't have a year on it. Oh gosh, it's been with me for a long time. And there's a present. This is just a block of wood, and there's supposed to be one over here too. He is carved. Isn't that cool? And I cut him out with a scroll saw. That might be wood burned. That might be wood burned in there. I'm not sure how I did it. It's been so long. But he's been around. He has moved to many, many, many places with me because I tend to move every few years. And he is one. Some things I purge because I'm kind of minimal, and some things stay with me, and he has stayed with me. All right. This is a little punch needle I did last year. And he actually sits on top of a funnel, which is in the other room that I switched. When I showed my fall decorations, I said I switched things out, and it had a crow and a pumpkin. And then I take that and put it away and put this on the funnel. It just has a hole on the bottom. And this is punch needle embroidery, and this is by Teresa's Primitive Treasures. She is on Etsy. And she also has this in a rug hooking pattern. I know my eyes keep going over here, and they're supposed to be over there, so I'm sorry about that. I keep looking at the stuff I'm holding up. This is just a little wooden ornament that I bought that I really liked. I think I got it at a yard sale. It's just like a little wooden plate that I thought was cute. And I just hang it on like a knob, maybe like on the cabinet here or something. Let's see. This guy is my tree topper. It's rug hooking, heavily coffee stained, so it's a little crunchy. That was a freebie from the Rug Hooking magazine. And this rusty spring actually goes up in there. Oops. A little bouncy. That's how it goes on the tree. And now it has a wool backing. This one, it's got fake pine needles on it. Thrift store, yard sale, I'm not sure. His legs are cinnamon sticks. No. They're branches, like tree branch. And he just hangs like this. So you can see it's got the pine needles on the back. One of the reasons I don't want to put a tree up. I don't want to clean the mess. This little lady I bought there's a store in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania called In Grandma's Attic. She's actually in Kinzers, Pennsylvania. And you definitely want to check her store out. This is handmade. A lot of her things are handmade locally. And I used to make things and sell them there on consignment. And she just has like a thread on the back to hang on the tree. A little piece of Sweet Annie. Isn't she cute? This pattern might be TFC folk art. It just looks like that style. But I'm not sure because I didn't make it. This little cute guy. I used to work with a girl that made this. Vicky Vickers. Kim Vickers is her name. Really cute. Just a little. He sits in the tree. All right, so back in 1995 is when I was doing all that wood cutting because this one is dated. And this I cut with a scroll saw, all these little pieces, and made these. And then I used to sell them super cheap, which is crazy. But I put that together. All those little pieces I made. Crazy. Trying to protect these and put them back in the bag. This is punch needle ornament that I did for class. I was teaching the class how to do that, and it has a piece of wool on the back. And what you do is you glue your punch needle to the piece of wool, and then I just cut around it with pinking shears, a little bit larger than where the snowman is. That's how that's made. Let's see. This is a flag, a little garden flag. Are you bored yet? I haven't even got into the bag of ornaments yet. This is something I got at a yard sale, and I always needed to touch up that frame right there, and I never did it. Or not, thrift store. I think it was at a thrift store. And I don't think this is homemade. I think this is commercially made because it's got the nice backing on it. Let's see what else. This is just something I made when I was bored one day. It's rug punch with Oxford punch. And then I sewed it together to make a little sweater. Super simple. This guy might be my favorite one. I think this is Liberty Creek Primitives pattern. Look how cute he is. He is adorable. And he's got that little glittery snow stuff all over him, so he definitely lives in a bag when he's not being displayed. This cute little snowman. Then you make his pants and stick them in there. Little twig legs. And I'm getting glitter on my carpet. Let's see. Oh, I found the star that goes on the wooden tree. There's the star. I have to put that back on that tree. Alright. This is my ornaments. They're crammed in there. If you need a break, just pause it. Oh, I found the little wooden Christmas present that goes on the wreath. Yeah, if you need a break, just pause it. Just come back or watch another time. See, we're at 32 minutes, so we're not doing too bad. I don't take too long. Okay, this one, I'm not sure if this is handmade or not. I put him on my tree because I think he's handmade. Looks handmade, but I'm not sure. This one is made by Teresa Miller. Teresa's Primitive Treasures. And it's got a thread on the back to hang it on the tree. I think that's a pattern that you can buy from her still. This is just a little snowman I bought. It's just 2 wooden circles. Simple to make. Now, back when I was doing stitcheries, I made a whole bunch of things like this. And that's just 2 pieces hand stitched together with the running stitch, and then I embroidered that first and then stitched the 2 pieces together and put a piece of embroidery floss on it. This is 94, back when I was cutting with the scroll saw and making things. I gave a bunch of these to, I was in a singles ministry group at a church back then in Dover, Delaware, and I gave everybody one of these one Christmas. We used to have cookies and cocoa parties, and I gave everybody one. Let's see. I have my vintage elf that goes on the tree. They came from bottles of syrup. They are not Elf on the Shelf. They came from bottles of pancake syrup many years ago. This is handmade pottery, and I believe I bought this at a craft show in Burnsville, North Carolina. Really tiny and cute redware. I think last year's video I showed all these as they were on the tree and the lighting was terrible, so this way is probably better. This one is probably handmade. It's got some rubber stamp on the back. So there's a few here. This is from 95, one of the ones I made. Even that little heart, I used to cut those out with the scroll saw. I'm just thinking how good it would be if I had a whiteboard like to hold these on, but I don't. It's a little angel. Made that one in 1998. It's dated. Let me go get a whiteboard. Let me see. So I almost forgot this big guy. He's sitting down here behind me. It's just an old crate, and I bought this at a craft show. Isn't he cool? Cool. Yeah. That's another way to display things. So you can see the, this is from the greenery here. Just stuck through the back. I think I bought that in Elkton, Maryland at an antique, or yeah, like an antique craft show kind of thing. All right, this should help. This is Doreen Frost pattern. Vermont Harvest, I think is her business is called, and that's punch needle. This whiteboard works pretty good. This is, I made a bunch of these and sold them. I don't know how many years ago. I don't think I'd want to make them anymore. It was a lot of work. And I used to have like little wooden carrot noses for them. That one's just a piece of orange wool or felt. This was another one made, or no, actually this was gifted to me. And I don't know if it was handmade or not. It was gifted to me by a friend, and I lightly coffee stained it just to prim it up a little bit. This is another one of mine from 1996. And I did cut out all those little snowflakes and the little heart up here at the top. That's what I used to do. I don't know how. I don't know that I could do it now. This is another one from Doreen Frost. These are super cute. And this one is a little piece of a tobacco stick. So that is painted by the lady, her name is Patty, and she owns In Grandma's Attic, and she does these for all the seasons, and some are not seasonal, they're just every day, but she just paints little things on them. And she gave me that one, so I really like it. Here's another stitchery one when I used to do stitcheries, and that is rag stuffed. Just any kind of cotton. I remember I used to go to thrift stores and look for like a plain cotton shower curtain. You know, like a duck cloth kind of. And it just has my initials on the back. You can tell it's rag stuffed because it's very lumpy. So I used to just do that. This I used to sell as kits. Punch needle pattern. When I first learned how to do punch needle. And I sold the pattern, and I probably do not have it anymore, but I was selling them as kits with the little tin that you could put it in. 2010. Let's see. This one my girlfriend made me last year. She came over and she said that she lives in the same town as me, and she said that she needed some of my scraps, some wool from my scrap bag. And she didn't tell me what she was making. I had no idea that it was going to be for me. But that's what she made me. And there's wool on the back, and she did all that. This is all beads around the edge. You can see that. So I don't know what I'm going to get this year. This is another one by Kim Vickers that I used to work with. We both worked at a nursing home. Little hobby horse. And here is another stitchery. You know, I should do these again because this one's hooked on the wire. I just really like them. I really like them. Isn't that cute? And it's rag stuffed. And it's really lightweight. These I used to make. I made a whole bunch of these. They said joy, they said hope, they said Jesus, Noel. Back in my embroidery days, I made a ton of those. This is another uncounted cross stitch. I don't know if I made him last year or the year before. But that's just a piece of linen that I used. Actually, it was a linen wraparound skirt that I bought at a thrift store for $1 or $2. And it's way too tiny to actually do counted cross stitch on, but it worked for that. This is something that I made one year. I made a bunch of those. Super simple. A piece of wood I bought at like Lowe's or Home Depot, and then I just cut it into sections. And these are all candy canes. Now, these are just the plastic candy canes. You can get them at Dollar Tree. And you just wrap diagonally, kind of, you know, on a slant. You just wrap the homespun around it and then coffee stain it. You hot glue it on there. Super simple. This guy is from my doll making days. I don't know the pattern maker or pattern designer. That's just a Santa. That's sheep's wool for his beard and hair. This one I bought in 2009, and it looks like Jennifer R.E.D. something. I don't know. Is that you? That's hand painted. Super cute. I think I bought it. Maybe on Etsy. Was Etsy around in 2009? I don't remember. This is just a flat gingerbread. This was a free pattern I got from somewhere, and I made a bunch of those. It's coffee stained with cinnamon. It's got jingle bells. Let's see. All right, so these are my 3. Make sure I have all 3. These are the first things that I did counted cross stitch after coming back from like the 90s. And these are on 14 count Aida oatmeal, which I had a scrap of it from thrift store. I think I paid $1 for it. Now this pattern is either primitive stitching or country rustic primitives. I'm not sure. But it's all on one pattern. And those were the first things that I cross stitched. And I did them last November. And I just put homespun on the back, and they're stuffed with fiberfill. Now, if I went back and looked at these really close, I did coffee stain them. If I went back and looked really close, I would probably see that all my first lines didn't go the same direction. I probably went both directions. So they're probably not perfect. But I remember I was so excited. I'm going to link the video down below when I did these, when I posted it, because when I was stitching and it formed into a deer, I got super excited. It's like, I did it, I did it, I did it. I made a deer, and it was so exciting to me, you know, simple little thing, but I want to keep these just because like they're my first ones. So those will stay with me. Here is another embroidery one. I mean, these are so simple to make. They're so fast. Let's see, this is something I made out of Warm and Natural quilt batting. I don't know the pattern. It's just stuffed with fiberfill. I don't know where I got this one, but he's pretty prim. I think he's rag stuffed because he's really firm and lumpy. This is made from this is my dad's flannel shirt. And he's gone. So one year, after he passed away, I made everybody an ornament. with this flannel shirt. Okay, moving on. Did not expect that. This little one always comes apart. The glue doesn't hold on there, but it's a cute little nativity scene that I made back when I was cutting wood. And see, I have to re-glue that. They always come off. 1995. See, this is not homemade. This is a grandson from 1979 that I think my mother-in-law gave that to my son. This is another one that I got at Grandma's attic last year. And again, it just really looks like TFC folk art pattern to me. I don't know who made it. I just, she sells a lot of locally made crafts there. But it's just like a little linen bag and you put the little Santa in it. Let's see, I got more candy canes. This used to be my tree topper. And I always had to iron her dress every year. But I always thought she needed hair. I think this is a chestnut junction pattern too. And she has wings sewn on. I love this fabric. And I don't see fabric like this in the stores around here. It's just, I don't see the primitive fabric. But I don't have a date on it. But this is what I used to just put the tree, you know, like the top of the tree up there in the back of her dress. And then she would sit on the top of the tree. And I might use her again sometime, but, or maybe I'll just sit her out. But I want to give her some hair. Let's see. This is, it's a spoon. It's a painted spoon that I got at a craft show. This is something that I made. I actually have a price tag on it of $5. So I made a bunch of those. Coffee stained them, real simple. So it's got $5 on it. If you want to adopt it, let me know for $5. Let's see. Where I lived in Burnsville, North Carolina, there's a lot of potters over there. So there's a lot of pottery. And they have an ornament show every year, and these came from that. So those are locally made over there. And they are like that. The clay on the back, the red clay. Both of them. This whiteboard worked out pretty good. I should have got it early on. This is one of the first punch needles that I did. I was trying to create my own designs. I'm not real good at it. I'm not a designer. This is, I think it's paper clay. And it's some pins that I made, and I was selling them, you know, like you put a little basket up at the register and sell those. I just went and got two more. This is one that I made, I think in July, when I was doing like Christmas in July. And I don't remember the designer. If I can come up with it, I'll put it at the bottom. And it's just, I think I stuffed it with walnut crystals. It feels like. So, just a little bowl filler. And then this one, I just finished, which I should hold back because that's for the next floss tube. I'll talk more about that then. Let's see. This one I got at a church. It was like for a donation. Somebody handmade these. I got that out of church. These are all, you know, the kids' ornaments that they make when they're in school. I have the baby's first Christmas. This bar of soap. Let's see if it has a year on it. I have had this since 1979. Do they make stuff like that anymore? I imagine if I used it, it's a bar of soap, and I imagine if I used it, that design would come off. But I even have like the box that it came in, and it says "Soap Up and Be Merry" by Bill. It looks like Egan, Eagan. The art on this fine French milled soap will not wash off in use. Okay. Made in USA. But I have carried that thing around, and I used to like display it. I used to put it on the back of my toilet and display it. So guys, I think that's about it. We will finish off with this. I have a Santa hat. It's pink glittery. So hey, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. It's okay. It's still interaction and YouTube likes it. Give me a comment on here. Did you have a favorite? Did you like one ornament the best? And have you decorated yet? Because I have not, and I probably won't do it today. I probably will do it. See, today's Tuesday. I'm leaving Friday for 11 days, so I don't know when I'll get this done, but I'm not putting my tree up, so I'm just going to display a little area in the living room and probably back up on here because that's what you see when I do my floss tubes. So we'll see you next time, everybody. Happy decorating. Merry Christmas if you celebrate it, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.